together and to outline the field, or court in this case. So for sewing the two images together, you have this selection down here. You have tie points. This is, you are telling the camera these 2 points on both cameras are the same. I'm gonna not do that. I'm gonna just put it into this so it's better quality. Yeah, this middle option here is better quality at the cost of being like 1 frame per second, but you know. So what you want to do is you want to find corners, you want to find any kind of identifiable point, because by the way, this whole system is blind. It cannot see the actual court. It can only see what you tell it.
Gotcha.
So you want to find like corners, you want to pinpoint there. These 2 points are the same. Put a couple others.
Hey Caleb,
Yeah?
you want to break the oh, never mind. I was gonna give you a unit that needs to be recalibrated.
Ah.
Error, got it.
So you want to find areas, places where you can pinpoint exact corners that are the same. And you don't need too many.
3 or 4 enough? 3 or 4 pairs?
It's not like a number, it's mainly just, you want to try to limit the amount, you want to try to strike a balance between giving the algorithm too much information, which will make it freak out, or too little information to where it has to figure out a bunch of stuff in between that it has a tendency to completely misunderstand.
Oh, okay.
It's like I usually do 5 for
pairs? Okay.
Yeah, 5 pairs.
Okay. I see the colors changing from blue to pink.
Yes, yeah, it's just,
Okay.
That lets you know that it's tied together.
yeah. Yeah, you can right click it to select it and it'll show you.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
this is, yeah, one part of the pair that the bolded
Okay.
one is the other
All
part of the
right.
pair. Yeah, so now that you have those tie points down, 1 frame per second, as I said.
Slow.
Maybe a little bit less than that. Yeah, you hit calibrate,
Mm-hmm.
and look at that, it's done.
That's it?
Except it isn't actually, because
Oh.
next we have that. Put a little temporary save here,
Mm-hmm.
and now we have to do. Now that we have those tie points, you see there's still a little bit of misalignment here, and that is what the line points are for. The line points are you tracing out a line. Again, a definite line, not just somewhere in this blue space. You have to actually put a line there because, or you have to trace a definite line because the system cannot see any of the picture.
Oh.
It only knows what you tell it. So you want to trace out a definite line. I like to find the little border between 2 different colors,
Okay.
just to be able to trace out a definite straight line. And you are telling the camera here that all of these points that you're placing add up
To a straight line.
to a perfectly straight line,
Okay.
which is why you'll end up with a lot of problems if you have areas that only really have curves.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, even though this is curved here, you know that it's actually flat. It's just the distortion from the camera lens.
Right.
Oh.
So yeah, again, it doesn't have to be too far apart. I like to space it out about the length of the line point window, maybe a little more. But yeah, just all the way through, all the way to the innermost side of both cameras, by the way, because you also want to get that overlap there.
Mm.
You see, like here, it's expecting, okay, so the line goes like this, right? No, it actually goes here.
Okay.
So you're just, oh yeah, once that was done, sorry, once you have all the line points down for that one line,
Mm-hmm.
so you have to trace all to the end. Yeah, you have to, oh my god. You have to hit add line to cement all those points as one singular line.
Okay. Got it.
And now it's the bottom line done. You see, you hit this and you can see all those points are highlighted.
Okay.
Can't we name that?
No.
Okay.
So you have to do on every side?
No,
4 sides?
no, you only have to do the top and bottom.
Oh.
Sometimes the center, if it's, so if an S2 is particularly off center,
Mm-hmm.
you may have to draw the center line just to force it to conform to the court shape. Because what it's doing here, what the pixel art actually does, rather than just have it be where you can just trace out a rectangle and it'll say, okay, so this rectangle is the field. No, it actually tries to conform a preconceived rectangle onto the field region.
I see.
So it'll try to figure out how far it is from the field and again, I'm saying field because everything in this says field, regardless if it's a chord or not. So it's just, at this point, it's just part of me now. So yeah, you want to, it actually like tries to figure out how high up, how far back, how left or right the camera is from the field.
All right.
And to determine where the field region is. Like you can actually see here. This is where it thinks the field region is.
Wow.
Nice.
Except it usually doesn't think of it like this because we don't have the ground points yet. The ground points are where you trace out the corners and the middle here. It only thinks that because that's what the old calibration thought. Usually it thinks the field is all the way back here somewhere.
Okay, great.
But it doesn't really matter because we're only on the line points phase. We're just trying to put these two seamlessly together. So you see we have the top and the bottom. We trace those out well. Hit calibrate. And look at that. That is so much better.
So once you generate the pink, blanket, you click close and then calibrate button. That's what you did.
The pink isn't. We aren't at that step yet. I was just showing you because I expected it to think that the field was over here.
Oh.
Because it usually does on before you've put down the ground points.
Okay.
Now this is an extra step for basketball courts. So again, I told you it tries to paint a preconceived rectangle onto the field, rather than try to match up to the lines and the sides of the actual field region. In fact, it's this rectangle here with those dimensions. Now here's something interesting about basketball courts for high school specifically. High school basketball courts are actually 26 meters long. That's something I had to look up myself. And you see here, it thinks it's expecting a 28 meter by 15 meter field region. So for basketball courts specifically, and specifically for high school basketball courts, we have to go set field size and change this to field length 26. Set field size. And now look at that. The dimensions here, the proportions have changed. That's the rectangle it's expecting now. It's 26 by 15, that proportion.
Okay.
Now then, this is where we actually trace it. Well, after we've done the line points, now you see the panoramic is pretty much done. But normally it has no idea where the field region is. So it's all well and good that we've sewn the two images together, but we still have to configure the auto production part. That's where the ground points come in. So we've set our field region here, our field size. And now you see it has this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are the ground points. So you want to set them, first one, top left corner. Right there in the corner. You see that one lit up? And now it's on the next one. So now you go to the 50-yard line, or the halfway point. Place the ground point there. And around, get all 4 corners and the 2 middle points in that order that you see down here.
Oh, wow.
Gotcha.
Because again, we're trying to show it where that rectangle should be.
Yeah, nice. I see the color changing to the violet as you move along.
All those are down. Hit calibrate.
Okay.
And you see if you hit advanced, you can actually see the field region at any time.
Okay.
Hit show field region.
Okay.
See, look at that. It's actually not entirely conformed here because you see it's lifting up a bit here.
Oh, yeah.
This is what I mean about the preconceived rectangle.
It's
it's
almost
trying to,
perfect, but not
almost perfect, but not quite.
Yeah.
Because it thinks that the rig location, that the camera location is this dimensions away from the top left corner.
So
this is the next step. We hit unlock rig location and do free calibration. This allows the camera to say, wait, what if I'm not actually at these coordinates?
Right.
And actually try to figure out what coordinates it's actually at based on the information you've given it. Look at how much better that is. And if we look at the rig location and world here, you see it's changed.
Oh, okay.
So that's what the
slightly.
do free calibration is. It's
To pre-color.
just trying to figure out where it is in the world as opposed to where those coordinates are.
Okay.
And you see the distortion also changed a bit too. Like you saw how it was a bit curvy and now it's no longer as curvy because there's just some black magic of an algorithm going on back there that tries to counter all the distortion from the lenses and everything.
Okay. Now it's acceptable. Yeah.
Yep, it's actually perfect. So all those few tie points that we put in the middle here, obviously that's not good enough to cover every single instance of where someone might be causing the point. I mean, it might be. In some cases, it is all you have to go on.
All right.
But we can do something cool here where, you saw in the instructions, you were supposed to do find tie points and then do all the other stuff and then find tie points. What I like to do is skip the first step because it's the first find tie points because it's basing that off of incomplete data. You haven't told it where the lines are. You haven't told it where all those tie points are.
And it's waste of time and
Yeah,
effort.
because it's just going to get overwritten anyway.
Okay.
So here, in the do free calibration stage, you do free calibration. You go back to advanced, hit limit next find tie points to field region, calibration profile, tight. That only affects the find tie points process. The initial loose tight. That only affects find tie points. And now we hit find tie points here.
Generate the middle congested line, pink dots
That
around
was the
them.
middle line that you drew first, right?
What do you mean? No, I didn't draw a middle line. I didn't draw a center line. You don't have to.
Okay.
Only if the S2 is very off center chord do you have to force it to conform. Otherwise, it just kind of, it's not necessary.
Gotcha.
You really just want it to know where, you know, 'cause it's like it's the bottom parts here, bottom and top parts. Like, okay, it's like trying to fold two sheets of laminated plastic together. Like, you know, the ones that go, you know, like trying to fold two of those curved sheets of paper into a flat surface.
Gotcha.
So it's like, okay, so this bottom line here goes like this way, right? No, you have to force it to conform to be one straight.
So when you click the button, find the tie point, it's gonna put a lot of dots in the center line.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's
the final stage of the calibration.
This is the one time that the software can actually see the picture. It is looking at the picture, looking at the colors, and based on the information you have given it, which is why you do this after you put in the lines, after you put in the thing, or all the tie points that you have manually. This is where it says, okay, this calibration is correct. Let's see what other places we can tie together.
Okay. Anything you have to do after that, this part, or it's pretty much done?
Let's just wait for this to be done. So it's just for the basketball calibration.
Oh,
yeah, you
yeah.
see,
Wow.
it has all these tie points here. You hit calibrate,
Okay.
and
So, tie point and calibrate. Okay.
that is, you usually want them to be all blue. I'm going to go back and do pre-calibration again, just see where it thinks it is now. Because it does have a bit more information to work with here. I'm going to try do find tie points again to see if we get a bit more blue. Because the red means, I'm not so sure about this.
I see.
And you literally have to do this for like every.
No, actually.
Okay.
That's the next part I'm going to show you. It's actually, I probably could have just hit approve there anyway, because there isn't much room for it to be wrong here, because we've set good definite lines, because we've set manual tie points that are in good space, that are in a good place. There isn't much